this awkward bit where no one's arrived yet. I might go and turn on the light. Hello. Speak. Hello, everyone. Now, I know it's just two of you, but should I go and turn on the light? Is it too dark? If I'm on the mat, you'll be able to see me, but do you think, should I put on the big light as well? Is that better? I know it's quite low, moody lighting, which can be quite nice and relaxing, but let me know if you maybe even chat. More light, need more light.
It looks lovely.
Okay. As long as you're not going, it's too dark.
No, it looks like I can see fine.
Okay. We are going to start standing. And also, if you do have a bit of wall that sort of free a space a bit like that, so you can open your arms, then it's quite nice to have that sense of grounding behind you as opposed to grounding when you're lying down. That upright grounding is a really lovely way of being able to inhabit your body in a slightly softer way, but without having to think too much about it. But if you don't, then don't worry, freestanding is totally fine. But if you do have a piece of wall that is free to take your weight, then I would like you, if you can, to adopt a standing position next to the wall. And if it's not, if the wall isn't available, that's totally fine. We're just going to come into our regular standing position. So whichever position you would like, either feet hip width apart and just lengthening yourself upright, taking time just to sort of consciously assemble your body. If you're against the wall, you have that feedback behind you of where your pelvis is, where your rib cage is, and where the back of your head is. Now, if you're against the wall, don't necessarily press the head against the wall unless it naturally resides there in your natural posture. So you might feel like I do today. I think I've been hunched over my desk quite a lot, so actually my head doesn't naturally want to find the wall. So it may take a little while until it's aligned with the back of the shoulder blade. So similarly, when you're standing, even without that feedback, just notice how you feel those three parts of your body are orientated against and around each other. We're just taking a moment to notice and find that pattern. So like three orbs, imagine the orb of your pelvic area, a glowing orb of your heart center, and the orb of your head, all balanced evenly, one on top of the other. So the arms are just down by your side. Just roll the shoulders a few times, whether you're standing upright without freestanding or against the wall. So finding that space and that connection with the shoulder blade area. And if you are against the wall, which actually I think maybe only Janice, you might also feel that that helps you to connect a little bit more widely against the wall. And I want you then to breathe into each space of those three orbs. So coming with the breath in through the nose and then in through into that wide width of the rib cage area, and see if you can find the breath down into the belly as well. And sigh the breath out. Let's just do 3 breaths simply with this freestanding position, finding those 3 spaces within the body with the breath. And let's do 1 more breath like that. And breathing out. And then floating the arms out in front of you. Fingertips shoulder width apart and at shoulder height. So just notice if they're kind of wandering up above you or hanging down below. See if you can connect the fingertips towards the end or to the end space of the shoulders where they meet the body. And I want you to breathe in and open the arms wide softly. Breathing out, close. So we did this exercise lying down last week. We're going to breathe in. Imagine you're inflating a big bubble in front of you. And breathe out, softly close it. 2 more in. And so the arms are quite soft, as you can see. We're not rigid and holding them lengthened and locked at the elbow. I want you to keep them soft as if you're hugging a tree in front of you rather than rigidly reaching them out straight. Last one in. And out, and releasing the arms all the way down. Now I'm going to come onto my knees, but I want you to stay standing. So I'm just on my knees so that you can see the full range of movement. We're going to have the palms facing back behind you now. And I want you just to float the arms forward and up. So take a lovely deep breath and lengthen all the way up as far as you can go without allowing the rib cage to flare. So let's see if we can keep the arms. So if it's up to here, if that's here, that's fine. If you can allow the arms their full extension, that's brilliant. But notice if it affects your rib cage or your head. And then you're going to press the arms all the way out and down. And again, breathing in to come up. And pressing out, down on the out breath. So doing that 3 more times. With the in breath, you're inflating the rib cage, but I want you to see whether you can see if you can still connect the rib cage down rather than letting the in breath inflate the ribs up to the ceiling as well. So keeping that sense of soft ribs hugging in towards your center rather than floating away. And press. And on the way down, imagine you're reaching the fingertips to the sides of the room as well. So we're trying to find and create as much space in the body as you possibly can. Reach, reach, reach. And leaving the arms all the way down by your side. Maybe a couple of shoulder circles just to relax any tension that's crept into the body. Change direction. And then we're going to take the left arm and float it up towards the ceiling. The right arm just lengthens down by your side. Now check in with the shoulder, make sure it's soft away from the ear, and you're going to reach up and over. So keep your left foot planted down. So we're trying to feel like from the left foot all the way out through the fingertips, there's a nice long line, but you're not leaning over to the side or lifting and being light on this left foot. Plant it down, breathe into that space. And then breathe out, floating the arm out and down. And release it down. Other side, lift and lengthen up, check in with the shoulder, nice long neck, and then reach up and over. So planting that right foot, reaching out through the right side of the waist. Imagine you're coming between 2 panes of glass. So we're not kind of rotating here, we're coming directly to the side. Breathe in, breathe out, release it down. We're going to do this 2 more times either side. Now I want you on this one to think not about the left side as you reach the left arm, but about the right side lifting up as well. So like a rainbow, even lengthen and lift through the right side of your body, breathing in. Breathing out, release and lengthen it away. Other side, lift. And reach up and out of the hips on both sides. So even through and lift through this left side of your waist as well as the right side. Breathing in. Breathing out. You can still do this against the wall, by the way. It's a nice way of checking that you're not rotating. Last one either side, lift. Breathing in. And breathing out. Other side, lift. And reach. And back through center. We're going to do a really lovely mixture of that exercise and a roll down. So just to prepare your body for the roll down, let's come into a gentle straight roll down. And again, you can start against the wall. It's a really nice way of finding that feedback of the bones moving on independently of each other. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, lengthen through the back of your neck. Really feel that each bone of your spine is articulating on its own as you roll all the way down. Noticing any sense of tightness, any space that needs to be nourished by your breath. Breathing in at the bottom Breathing out, sending the tailbone down, rebuild. Shoulders connect into the body, head rebuilds at the top of the spine. Just take a moment here to breathe in and lengthen the arms up to the sides. And breathe out, pressing them down. We're going to just take that pause in between our roll down. So breathing in now and breathing out and roll it down. Let the arms be lovely and floppy. Let the knees be as soft as you need them to be on the in-breath on the way down, at the bottom. Breathing out, roll it up. Shoulders relaxing into the back. Breathe in when you get to the top, opening the arms. Breathing out, feathering them down, lovely and light. And then last roll down like this. We're going to roll on your out breath, but don't worry. If you need to take an extra breath, then do. We don't want to be moving, holding our breath. And then roll it up. Let the shoulders be soft. You're going to breathe in to lift. Breathe out to close. Now we're going to add 2 exercises together. So just watching first, unless you kind of already get it in your head before, so you can do it as I'm doing it. We're going to take the left arm up towards the ceiling, coming into a side reach as we did before. And then from the side reach, you're going to twist. So you're going to just look down towards your right foot. And then you're going to allow the arm to release forward as you begin to roll down. So we're kind of rolling in a diagonal, sending our nose towards your right toes. And then you're going to come all the way across with the body to the left-hand side. And you're rolling up the left side, sending the tailbone down and rolling up that side of your body. And then coming back through center. And then we're going to float that right arm up towards the ceiling and all the way up and over. And then we're going to do the same. So dropping towards the left foot, releasing all the way down. So just joining in when you feel ready with the movement. And if it does feel like it's aggravating anything or not feeling as nourishing as you'd like it to be, then just continue with a parallel or a central roll down. We want to sort of notice any feelings of imbalance. Bend your knees as much as you need to. It's a really nice way of kind of stretching one side of the spine. So let's take the left arm, looking down, rotating, leading with that left arm as you roll. And then just allowing both arms to soften to the floor on the left-hand side, coming over to the right. Sorry, other way around, my left and rights are wrong. We're going to roll back up, back through center, and then the right arm comes up and all the way over. And then you're going to roll and rotate all the way down and across. And rolling back slowly through the center. Let's just take a reset here. When you get to the center, let's breathe in to lift the arms up and press them all the way down. We're going to do that 2 more times. And as you press the arms down, we're going to come on to rise up onto your toes. So breathing in to lift. And as you come down with the arms rising up, just coming a little bit of work into the pump of your calf, get the blood flowing, breathing in as you lower. And breathing out to lift the heels. Let's do 1 more like that. Breathing in to lower. Breathing out to lift. And then release the arms all the way down. Allow them to just rest down by your side. Notice if you feel any more conscious of where the shoulder blades are on the back of the body, whether you feel you've maybe gone a bit from this to this, a little bit more conscious of the back line. We're going to take a breath in, and I want you just to lift the heels and bring them together. So coming into your Pilates stance. So the toes are still hip width apart, but now you're just zipping together from the heels. And I want you to imagine like a magnet that suddenly you're really deeply connected. So the heels, and then as soon as you find that connection from the knee joint, maybe up through the inner thighs into the pelvic floor, and then switch on your bum as well. So really squeeze the sit bones together. Feel a sense of activation through the whole of this inner thigh, hip, buttock area. And then you can maybe turn it down a little bit. I want you to feel that internal lift, that pelvic floor inner line lift stays active. Relax the shoulders. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to rise up onto the toes, keeping those heels glued together. So inner thighs, buttocks still working. And then you're going to release those heels down. We'll come into a little plie, so the knees come over the toes. And then from here, we're lifting that left arm up, and we're just going to come into a little side reach. And reach it back as you squeeze the inner thighs, lift up. Lower it down, very balletic here. We're going to lift up with the right arm and reach with your little plie. So we're trying to keep the pelvis upright, and we're not sending the hips from side to side. We're just reaching out of the waist. So it's a little bit of extra mind-body load to go to organize here. Let's do lifting up as you come back to center. Let's do 2 more either side, coming up and over as you plie. Now I just dropped my head completely. See if you can keep the head consciously at the end of your spine, not dangling it like I just did. Back through center, lifting up. Whoops. I'm just going with the flow a bit too much here. Reaching up and over. And back through center, lifting up, keeping the inner thighs, buttocks, lower belly squeezing, and then lower down, last one either side. Reach up and over. You might feel this quite strongly in the ankle joints. So we're kind of waking up the ankle, Achilles, calf area. And back through center, lift. Let's stay lifted. And I want you just going to pulse. We're going to go down and up and down and up. Let's do that 10 times. A lot of work here for the inner thighs, the buttocks, the heels, working into the arches of your foot. We've got 5 more. Lift, lower, lift. 3, 2, and 1. Release it down, little plie. And then just pick up the heels from your plie and then come into parallel, release them down. So the knees are a little bit bent here. And I want you to lengthen out. Let's come into a little squat. Send the bum all the way down or back as far as you can without picking up the heels. And then you're just going to fold yourself forward. So straightening out through the legs as much as you feel comfortable. And then we're going to come from this straight position, lift your belly and come back into your squat. And then lower down, straightening through the backs of the legs as much as feels comfortable. You keep them soft. And then sending the tailbone down, lengthening up. So coming back into that squat. And 2 more. Breathing in, breathing out, lengthen. Last one. Lovely deep breath. And reach. Good, everyone. Now from here, take your hands onto your thighs. Maybe release, slightly lift up a little bit if that feels like it's less hard work onto the quads, the front of the thighs. Feel nice and secure here. So see if you can really send your bum away, pressing down into your hands. Give yourself a little bit of support. You can be a little bit wider than hip width apart. So I've naturally kind of opened my legs a little bit wider. I want you to take a breath in. And as you breathe out, send your tailbone underneath you and come into your cat. So gently undulate to the crown of your head. Breathe in here and breathe out, opening through the chest, releasing the shoulder blades into the back. See if you can come into this cat from your heart center rather than throwing your head back. So only go into that extension as much as it's in your mid-back, rather than just extending into the neck too much. And then roll the tailbone underneath you. Breathing in, send it away. Coordinate the breath however you feel comfortable. So it could be an out breath to tuck yourself in, and then an in breath to extend. Or you could linger with an in breath in between each stage. So whichever you feel more comfortable. Let's do 1 more. And send the tailbone away, and then just roll yourself forward. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Roll yourself up. Bone by bone. Last standing position. Sorry, I normally have loads of hairbands down here, but for some reason I haven't, so my hair is just unruly. Taking a breath in. As you breathe out, I want you to imagine from this nice and supported standing position that your weight is funneling into your left foot. So imagine like a sand timer, everything easing its way down into that left foot. Your right heel comes up, your right knee begins to hover. Notice what happens, if anything, through the waist and the hips. See if you can hug this right knee in towards you, so you're not dangling it down, hanging off the back. If you want to lower it down, then do, but be conscious about it. Hugging the thigh bone into its socket. Notice how it feels to be standing into this left leg. See if you can grow tall through the left side of the body. So remember how it felt to reach out of that side. Try and channel that same sense of energy from the heel all the way through to the armpit. Now we're going to do something a bit gruesome. Don't worry if it feels too much, don't do it. You can, and also if you need to, make sure you're near a wall, so you get, or a chair or a bed. We're going to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, I want you to try and rise up onto your toes. And then slowly lower. We've done a little bit of warm up, so it shouldn't be too gruesome. Lift up onto the toes and then lower. Let's do 3 more. Lift. Well, my left foot doesn't like that, my right foot doesn't like this. And lift. And last one, lift. And then a little bend. If your knees are happy to. If they don't feel happy to, don't force them. Let's do it again. Little bend. And lift. 3 more, little bend. And lift, keep lengthening out through the hips. Last 2. And last one. And release that foot down. Oh, shaky, shaky. Make sure you just give yourself a little jiggle through both sides as you even off. Do whatever feels right to get everything normalized again. Standing in this hip width apart position, or if you are near a wall and you want to, it's quite nice to kind of just reset for a moment in the center. Come back to the sensation of breathing from your head, through your chest, into your belly. Let's do that 3 times. Lovely deep breaths in and out. So you can kind of, while you're breathing, notice any sensations that are happening through that left heel, ankle, hip, buttock, into your belly, into your shoulders. Just gently observe how that last set of exercises has made itself known in your body. And then, imagining as you continue to breathe, that same sand timer type feeling. So imagine the weight of your body gently releasing down into this right foot. So see if you can just gently breathe. Allow the right foot to feel heavy, supported, grounded as you begin to pick up the heel of this left foot. And either draw that thigh bone deeply into its socket or keep the toes softly resting on the floor, whichever feels right for you. Checking in with the waist, with the hips. Have you shortened that left side? See if you can feel like both sides of the hips and pelvis are level and even as much as possible. So obviously slightly swaying off, but we don't want to be like a little teapot pouring. So from here, I'm on a slightly uneven bit of ground. Make sure you're not on an uneven bit and you do have something to support you if you need a chair or a sofa, etc. So from here, breathing in. Think again, remember that feeling of lifting up and over out of that right side. We're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, you're going to rise up onto the toes and lower. We've just got 5 of these. So notice if it feels harder or easier. Notice if I am like I am, you're kind of lifting and immediately wanting to go down. See if you can gently elongate it and lower with control. Let's do 1 more. Oh, I tipped myself over. And then from here, checking in with your waist again. So I'm very much shortening on this side. I want you then to come into a little bend and lift. Only if your knee is happy, and check you're tracking directly towards the toes rather than out to the side or in to the big toe, out to the little toe. See if you can go through the center, that middle toe, tracking. Last one. And release that left foot down. Let's just shaky, shaky. Maybe just kick an imaginary football from side to side. Let's do our little sway. Give yourself a pat on the back. Notice how it feels on that left leg, on that right leg. And then bringing it back to your final standing position, just for a moment to see how the body feels. So close your eyes as long as that feels comfortable for you. Keep them open, just gently glance down the nose if that feels better. But I want you to really imagine the feet, the balls of the feet, the arch of the foot, the heel. Notice how they feel after those little mobilizing exercises we've done, really strengthening exercises. Where do you feel that strength? Was it in the foot, the ankle? Was it more in the buttocks, hip? So just allow yourself to kind of meander through your body, noticing which parts kind of resonating more with that active movement. And let's just finish here with 3 breaths with the arms coming out. So breathing in to lift the arms as you allow the in-breath to expand in the ribs, and breathe it out to slowly lower the arms. 2 more, breathing in, lift. And last one, breathing in. And lower. Lovely. We're going to come down onto your mat, onto all fours. So we're going to do a little bit of work before we lie on our back. So you can either roll yourself down and come into a plank and then an all-four position, or you can simply lower yourself down onto all fours, whichever works better for you. And to begin with, in this all fours position, I want you to open your knees as wide as you feel comfortable. Maybe bring the toes together and send your bottom back down to your heels. Lowering your forehead all the way down. So just give yourself a moment in this lovely rest position. Especially if you've been on the go all day, or you've had any worries or anything kind of troubling you, just allow this to be your moment to pause. And see in this position if you can really feel that breath opening into the back of your body. So we're trying to aim for that space around your kidneys, just breathing down towards your hips, towards your pelvis. And then very slowly roll yourself up, bone by bone. Coming back into this 4-point kneeling position. So the hands are either directly underneath the shoulders, or if you know you need a little bit more space for the wrist joints, taking them slightly further forward, or take a pillow underneath the heel of your hand. So, or you could always have a fist. So whichever feels better for you. Let's make sure we organize those 3 parts of your body. So often when I'm looking at the screen, my head is kind of bobbed up. So I want you to see if the back of your head can be lengthened with the middle of your shoulder blades and the back of the pelvis as much as possible. So really imagine you have some feedback behind you, maybe a pole that's lengthened from the crown of your head, draping down towards your pelvis to give you a sense of where you are in space. So we want the lower back to be in its natural curve. If there was a friendly cat, it could curl up there rather than being toppled off. So see if you can find your natural curve of your spine. And let your breath expand into your belly. So really breathe and let the lower tummy relax. And breathe out. Let's just not actively do anything for the exhalation for a few breaths. I want you just to breathe in and let everything soften. And then as you breathe out, maybe just naturally notice what happens. Especially if you breathe the air as if you're blowing a candle, you might feel there's a natural lift of your lower belly. So breathing in softly and 2 more, breathe in and last breath and then I want you to tuck your tailbone underneath you. Let's come into a rolling cat. Let's just see how it feels compared to your standing cat earlier on. When you come into this lovely arched position here, I then want you to send your tailbone towards your heels and then dive yourself forward, opening your chin, your chest forward and lift, and then tuck the tailbone underneath you. Let's roll back. So we're creating a little wave scenario. Open through the chest, look up, and then rocking yourself, looking in towards your belly. And again, open and rock. Now, if this doesn't work for you, if you're not loving it through the wrists or the knees, just stay in whatever cat position feels nourishing for you and then rest yourself back. I'm going to do 2 more. Open through the chest, roll through the chest. Last one. Reach. And then just rest yourself back into your rest position for a moment. Forehead to the ground. And then coming back up to all fours. Take a breath in, organising yourself back into that nice head, ribcage, pelvis orientation. Imagine that your pelvis is absolutely balanced and level. So imagine you could have a tray of champagne on your bottom and you would be able to carry it there without spilling a single drop. We're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, lift into your lower belly just to find that sense of strength and lift through your torso. We're not moving the spine at all with that lift. I want you simply to feel like you're hugging your abdominal wall in and up, really fortifying that tabletop. Imagine each corner of your table stays level as you then slide your right leg back behind you. Toes staying long so we're not tucking them underneath. And then just bring that knee back in, noticing if you have to adjust the height of your hip. If you did, it meant that you dropped or lifted the pelvis. So on the other side, let's send that leg away, but without dropping the hip or even lifting it, and slide it back in. 2 more either side, just like this. So finding, just taking away one side of your table. See what happens to the balance. See if your tray of champagne has moved. Draw it back in. Last one either side. And back. And lengthen. And back. Good. We're going to, if you need to, sit back and rest your wrists at any stage, little circles. Do that whenever you need to. Don't just wait for me. Maybe a little 60s dancing. And all the way down. Maybe these are good stretches just for during the day as well. You can take the back of your hand and rest it down in front of you. It can be quite intense, this one, but you might, if it's intense, it kind of just means you need it. This stretches out all the way up the muscles around the wrist and the forearm, particularly if you kind of almost slightly open, externally rotate the arm without moving it. Really get a bit of a stretch. So we counterbalance that 4-point kneeling. And then we come back into it. So you're still imagining your table, your even corners of your table, your lower belly active and lifting, the shoulders relaxed, the back of the head not poking up like mine, trying to keep it long. So I want you to imagine that the table doesn't slant as you slide your right leg away. And then you're going to lift the leg to hip height, again not slanting your table, and reach your left arm too. And we're going to lower both down to the floor and then lift. Lower and lift. 5 more. And 4. And 3. 2 and 1. Stay up there. You're not going to like me, but we're going to come knee to elbow and reach. Knee to elbow and lift. 3 more. Knee to elbow, lift. Knee to elbow. And last one. Reach, reach, reach. Long, long, long. And then come back through center. Rest yourself down. Maybe circle that right wrist. Breathe into any tightness, any tension. Come back through center. We're going to go do the other side. So from here, relaxing those shoulders, lengthen the neck if you can. Anything that will release the pressure on your joints. Nice and lifted through the belly. Make sure you're stabilizing your table. Send that left leg away. Notice if you dipped or lifted in the bum. Reach the right arm as you lift both to hip height. And then lower. And lift. Long waist on either side. Feel the buttock muscle on this left side, helping to open the hip. So you should really feel that it's not the knee bending or the back arching, it's the hip being lifted by the buttock. So your bum is your hip extensor muscle. Last 2. Last 1. Lift, stay there, and knee to elbow, and reach. Knee to elbow, and reach. 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. Reach, reach, reach. Long, long, long. Lower it back down. Well done, guys. Maybe just roll your head from side to side, either with the forehead on the floor or just kind of balancing. And then lowering yourself down onto your tummy. Checking where we are, I'm not overrunning. So I want you to have pillows if you need them. I've got 2 for some reason because my neck, I feel like my neck needs a little bit more support. So I want you to have your legs hip width apart or a bit wider and ever so slightly turned out. So we're not kind of by any means toes out to the side, but just rather than knees directly down to the floor, just see if you can ever so slightly open in the internal rotation. So open the hips a little bit so we're not heels out, we're toes out a little bit more. Release your forehead down onto your pillow or pillows, only so you're not squishing your nose because we're looking down. And let your arms lengthen down by your side, palms facing up, totally relaxing your shoulders. Lovely deep breath. Now I want you to orientate yourself with those 3 points of reference. Your head, your rib cage, your pelvis. Is the pelvis heavy? Can you lengthen the tailbone towards your heels? Are the ribs soft into the body? Can you soften that bottom rib a little bit more? Do you need to lift and shimmy it underneath you, like tucking your ribs into your trousers a little bit, which just gently elongates the torso? Breathing in. As you breathe out, we're going to press your palms up towards the ceiling and then allow that gently to lift your spine. And then from here, hopefully you've got enough room to do this. If not, you're going to bend your elbows, but we're going to open the arms out to the side, spreading your wings, palms facing down now, and lifting the arms up above your head. And then pressing the palms all the way out and down, reaching back, and this time pressing the palms to the ceiling once more, and then lower everything back down. Fully relax the shoulders. And again, breathing in, breathing out, lifting the lower belly as you press the arms first, lifting into the palms as if you're reaching them up and away, looking down, but you're going to reach now, twisting so the palms face down, lifting the arms up above the head, and then pressing them back down. Maybe lift a bit higher with the spine, and then lower back down. Lovely deep breath here. We're going to do one more. On your out breath, you're lifting up through the spine, you're pressing into the backs of the shoulder blades, into the triceps, reaching, and then you're pressing the arms out by your side, lifting, flying like an eagle, reaching the arms above your head, and then pressing them back down. And lower, all the way down. And then press yourself up into your rest position when you're ready. So really stretching out the opposite direction through the spine. So either bring your pillows under your head or your hands, but we want to just fully let go of the shoulders here. So tuck them around your body if you can. Breathe. And then when you're ready, rolling up, bone by bone. It's quite heat generating, isn't it? That kind of movement, really getting the blood circulating, even though it's not a cardiovascular exercise per se. So now we're going to come down onto our bottoms, onto our backs. So rolling onto your bum and take your hands behind your thighs. You can just lower yourself down using your hands if that's better. So listen to your body. Lift your chest through, like sort of open your heart forward a little bit by taking your hands and pulling a little bit to open through the chest area. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, maintain that little hold of your thighs, but curl the tailbone underneath you and begin to lower your spine. Really use your hands as a support, but use your belly as well. So feel that you're drawing your tummy in to help you to lower with control. And then release yourself down onto the floor. Head on a pillow if you need it. Not if you don't need it, but for me, I personally feel it really helps me to settle my flary rib cage a little bit. So lifting that head ever so slightly. Bringing the feet so they're comfortable distance away from your bottom. And take the hands onto the tummy for a moment. Let's try and breathe into that space. So let the shoulders relax down. Take a breath in. See that it travels all the way down towards your pubic bone. And imagine you're fogging a window with the breath on the out breath. Let's do that 3 more times. Breathe in. And breathe in. And last one, in, lovely and deep breath in through the nose. And breathe out. Then just allow the arms to rest down by your side. We're not pressing into the floor, but I want you to allow the palms to really sort of soften and lengthen in the same way that we try and allow our feet to when we first begin to sit down, to stand on the floor. And then connect the shoulders as softly as you can into the mat. So try and let go of any tension through the front of the shoulder and allow the floor to really take the full weight and width of your shoulder area. Let's breathe in to float the arms up. Breathe out to release them back behind you. Breathe in to lift. Breathe out, pressing the arms forward, just gentle curl up. So see if you can draw your belly in and look down towards your pubic bone, but without the pubic bone tipping towards you. So keep it almost like weighted down towards the floor. Breathe in, the arms come up, the nose comes up too. Breathe out, release them back. And again, breathing in to lift. Breathing out, press the arms forward. Imagine you're pressing a lever and the bottom stays heavy, so really heavy weighted bottom. And breathe in, fingertips and nose up to the ceiling. And breathe out, fingertips back behind you. Let's do that 2 more times. Float the arms up. And press the arms forward, gently levering your spine up to breathe in to lift. Breathe out, lengthen. The last one, lift the arms, press, press, press. Really imagine a sort of substance underneath, like a bar that you're pressing down. The hips and bottom stays heavy and grounded. Breathing in, lift the arms. Breathing out, lengthen the arms back as you glide the legs away too. So reaching through the spine. Let your tummy and your rib cage area kind of lift up to the ceiling if it wants to. So you can really let whatever wants to happen through your spine, let it happen. And then breathe out. See if you can use just your abdominals, your kind of breath to help you close that gap and connect down towards the mat again. Let's breathe in, let it open. Breathe out. Softly close. So we're really, let's do that 2 more times, thinking about just with the breath expansion through this area and then cinching through the area. So simply allowing the accordion of the breath to do its thing. And then bring the knees into the chest, hug them in. Let's maybe roll from side to side. And then float your right foot down. Let's have a little glute stretch first. So we're going to take that left foot over the right, breathing in, and as you breathe out, float the right knee in towards you, finding that little glute stretch. Maybe work around a circle, little motion to find the best stretch for you, for your bum area. Breathing in, breathing out. And then release that foot down. Float the left foot up. So I want you to, it's kind of like a hamstring stretch, but we're not kind of drawing the leg in towards us. We're just sending the leg away and flexing into the heel. So trying to stand on the ceiling. Check in with your pelvis. Just notice whether you've shortened the left side. Try and place the pelvis down evenly. And if you need to, if it's straining into the quads or the knee, keeping your heel flexed, just let it soften. So kind of listen to your body. We've done a lot of single leg work today. We're going to do a little bit more now in your spine curl. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, tuck the tailbone underneath you. You're going to roll up through the spine and you're sending your heel or your toes, whichever feels better, up towards the ceiling. And then slowly lower back down. Find the pelvis on the floor and then point the foot, reach the leg away, flex the foot, kick it back up. Let's do that again, breathing in. As you breathe out, tuck the tailbone underneath you, pressing into this right side of your bum, pressing into your right foot. So make sure we're not dipping in the left side of your hip. Breathing in, breathing out, roll it down. Finding the base of the spine, point the foot, reach the leg away. Flex the foot, kick it back up. We've got that 2 more times, breathing in, breathing out, pressing into the spine, lengthening up, reaching out of the hips on both sides so we're even through the spine, and then roll it down. Point the foot, reach it away, flex, send it back up. Last one, breathe in. Breathing out, curling the toes, the tailbone underneath you and lifting yourself up. Really try and fire up those buttocks so the hamstring doesn't get too worried. Breathing in, breathing out, roll it back down. Point the foot, reach long, long, long. Flex the foot, kick it back up. And then release the foot all the way down. Float the right knee in. Take the right foot across the left knee. Check in with the pelvis. Take a moment to kind of assimilate the movement. Breathe into the movement, the change of direction, the transition. And then when you're ready, floating that left foot in. You might feel a bit stronger stretch on this side, partly because you've just been working that muscle. Breathing in. Breathing out. Relax the shoulders if you can. And then when you're ready, releasing that left foot down, float the right leg up, flexing into the heel, just to sort of find that length in the back of the hip leg. If you need to soften it off, then do. So just sort of work within your frame of comfort. Take a breath in, relax those shoulders, find that sense of heaviness, connection into the ground with the palm. On an out breath, tuck the tailbone underneath you, pressing into this left foot, lifting into the left buttock and the right buttock, breathing in, breathing out, roll it down. When you find the pelvis on the floor, point the foot, reach the leg away, flex the foot, lengthen it back up. And again, roll the pelvis underneath you, lifting into the spine, resting those shoulders into the ground, breathe in. Breathe out, melt the spine down, bone by bone with control. Point the foot, reach, flex, and lift. We've got 3 more, I think 3 more. I think we did 5 on the other side. Let's roll up. Pressing into the big toe of this left foot, make sure it's not wobbling and lifting, and then roll it down. Point, reach, long pelvis, heavy pelvis, lift, and 2 more. Wheeling up, pressing that foot into the ceiling, breathing in, breathing out, wheel it down. Point, reach, flex, lift, last one, breathing in, breathing out, lifting it up. Breathe in at the top, breathing out to roll it down. Point, lengthen it away, flex, lift it up. Oh, well done. Bring the knees into your chest. Roll them from side to side. Very well done, guys. That was a bit sneaky of me, wasn't it? I didn't even give you a regular spine curl to warm you up. So let's do some hip flexor stretches, and then we'll do a couple of lovely, easy spine curls to reassure you and make you feel like the spine curl is the easiest exercise in the world. So lengthening your right leg away, hugging your left knee in towards you. Let's just stretch off a little bit through that hip. Relax the shoulders. Allow the front of the hip to release. So really feel heavy through the back of your body if you can. The back of the thigh, the back of the knee joint, the back of the buttocks. You don't really have a front of your buttocks, I suppose, do you? Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And then float your right knee in and send the left leg away. Opening up through the front of that hip, drawing the right knee in, relax the shoulders. And then bring the knees back in towards you. Let's float both feet down, connecting with the earth, nice and grounded, really supportive. We're going to do 3 or 4 spine curls just to feel that sense of flow. You're connected through the arms, the shoulders, the head and the feet. So you've got that lovely closed, nurtured support of the floor. So just wheeling your spine with whatever breath pattern feels right for you. I quite like doing this up one side of the spine and down the other, kind of like creating a little oblong. So you're welcome to do that too, or you can just stay with a central spine curl. If you are doing the little lozenge, so creating that sense of roundness or going around the spine, make sure you change direction to go up and down evenly. It's a really lovely way of kind of finding the bits of your spine which maybe need a bit of tension release. And then finishing on this next one, whichever one you're doing. Taking the hands back onto the belly for a moment when you get there. And just settle into the breath. So arriving whenever you do, don't rush. Taking those deep, slow breaths in through the nose, through the heart center, to the belly. Out. Relaxing the jaw, the throat, the face. Now either stay in this position or make yourself more comfortable, legs up the wall, soles of the feet together, knees apart, little pillow underneath the knee joint so you relax but with a slightly bent knee, open hip, whichever makes you feel more supported. So allow yourself time to settle into that position if you need it. And then just imagine you're lying on a really, really soft mattress. And imagine the imprint that your body is making on that really soft Princess and the Pea mattress. See if you can relax the shoulders into it, the back of the head, the rib cage area, the pelvis, the feet, the heels, whichever parts of your leg might be touching and imprinting onto the duvet, the mattress area, just let them sink. And allow your breath to settle into the imprint that your body is making. See if you can really eke out more distance, more heaviness, more space for your body in that imprint. And allow your out breath to elongate, to become longer than the in breath. And as it does so, just taking away any tension with it, just releasing, only leaving softness, leaving space. See how much more deep you can release into that imprint of your body. Just continue here with the breath for as long as you feel comfortable and safe and nurtured. And go forth into the rest of your evening with a lovely supported, nourished nervous system. And I will see you all next week. Take care of yourself.